the children. He could have been honest and told her everything here, come clean and cleansed his soul and his life. It did not matter now, anyway. Nothing mattered. He swallowed a lump in his throat and squeezed his thumb and index finger tightly around the root of his nose to take away the urge to cry. She had been special, and he was sure now that he had loved her. Really loved her. It was not just lust and sex, like it had been with the others. She was not just another digression that Alice pretended to know nothing about. For once, he had not been drawn by youth or beauty. It was something else, something closer and more intimate. It was an undefinable connectedness, both physically and mentally, that he had never experienced with any other woman, not even with Alice. The neighbour's dog started barking. He pulled himself together and opened the car door. The inevitable loud smack echoed in the garage as he closed the car door. He stepped on a piece of wood with a bent nail and cursed inwardly as he turned on the light and put it on the work table. Lucas had gotten farther with the birdhouse. He picked it up and examined it from all sides. One part of the roof was a bit crooked, and one of the nails was poking out a bit, but otherwise it looked good. He smiled spontaneously and wistfully, and dried his eyes. Tomorrow he would help him finish it. The children were the main reason he had not told her. Lucas and Mia. Would he be able to live without them? Would that even have been necessary? She would have loved them too, he was sure of that. She had children of her own. That fact sent his thoughts back to the case. He hoped Torben had not noticed the old report when he came back unexpectedly tonight. His partner paid unusually close attention to details. It made him a good cop. He had stood up and grabbed his coat from the back of his chair, so it looked like he was on the way home. He hoped he had seemed convincing. He opened the left back door of the car, grabbed his jacket and bag from the back seat, threw the coat over his shoulder and left the garage. It was a relatively warm March evening. The stars were bright in the sky, and the dried leaves in the beech hedge rustled a bit in the wind. Max, the neighbour's dog, was still barking. The dog was usually quiet when it walked around in the fenced garden, and it never barked at him because it knew him. He looked up the street. A car was parked in front of the neighbour's house, a few feet away from the street light. A dark Peugeot 208. But it could not have been visitors, because there were no lights in the windows. Maybe Max was home alone. He thought about going over and talking to the dog to calm it. He would rather wait a while longer before climbing into bed next to Alice. He did not want to explain why he was so late. Or maybe she would just stare into the darkness with her back to him. He had not told her he would be working late tonight, and she had called him several times on his cell phone, but he had not answered. The car in the darkness looked like it was smiling mischievously. He smiled a bit at that thought. Lucas had taught him to look at cars like that. His son had seen too many cartoons and could see faces in all car models. He had always had a vivid imagination. Either they smiled in a sweet, mischievous, or sneaky way, or they were mad or angry. Lucas had explained how the lights are the eyes, and the radiator grille is a mouth with teeth. The car was not a usual visitor with the neighbours, an elderly married couple who rarely had company. It looked like someone was behind the wheel. He squeezed his eyes together. A dark silhouette showed itself against the weak light from the street lamp behind it. They had recently investigated an organized crime gang who watched neighborhoods before robbing them. He started walking towards the car.